not planting the seeds for the new generation anymore. We're too protective and we're scared to pay into stuff. We don't invest. We're too busy looking for the shiniest watch or the car that can talk or some shoe that can make a long distance call if you lace it a certain way or something. And we are embarrassments to our children. And some piece of us, I think some piece of us knows that. So, when there's a job interview, I sit around at home and I just stare at my resume. And sometimes I'm late for the interview just because I don't know whether or not I'm going to be taken seriously, treated fairly. Sometimes I over-prepare for a job interview, as I've done recently. I tried to look like a model employee. Oh, fancy paper, just come in with a suit, looking good. Studied for like an hour, looking at what the company does, the history of the company, the fact that it grew from World War II and through the 60s it transferred to the New York branch and the blah, 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 blah. Did all that stuff. I don't know, maybe my brain did that because subconsciously I didn't want to go. But I just felt insecure. And you know, a lot of times when I sit there and just look at my resume, I barely even care whether or not I leave an impression. Because I'm just sitting there thinking, you know, you want to make your own life convoluted? Fine. Or you want to cheat people? Fine. You want to make some Ponzi scheme, some pyramid scheme, of which I've seen quite a few when I thought I was getting an actual job. Fine, you know, do all that stuff as much as you want. Or maybe you want to be a good salesman. Or an impressive, altruistic banker that gives microloans. Or an inventor that makes, I don't know, the world's tiniest smartphone or something. Do what you do, but just get out of my way if you're going to drag me into something that isn't worth it. That doesn't have any intrinsic value that you imbue. And I'm going to tell you this. Don't you dare get in my way when I want to help children. They've got too many people out there willing to make a buck off of a young person, to exploit them, to abuse them. We've got enough people like that. They come to us because we don't give them any other people to trust. Oftentimes, and I'll stop with this, I'll pass by downtown and I'll see the homeless person asking for money. And I think about what would happen if I didn't have the opportunities that I did manage to scrape together and what did come from the love and care of my family, my mother especially. What if that didn't happen? And every once in a while, when I pass those homeless people, one of them is an American military veteran. And something just changes in me. I don't know, maybe I feel like there's something in common. I haven't gone overseas and risked my life, but I do know what it's like to have a government entity arbitrate the actions of years of my life, only to cast me aside and treat my fellow peers and I like collateral damage, and watch the failures of hundreds of thousands of children as nothing more than the casualties of friendly fire. This is a country that has decided that it's okay for the people who could have died for my right to drive around in a car and not have somebody attack it with a pipe bomb. That reward is homelessness, a veterans system that doesn't work nearly the way that it should. An electorate who has an overwhelming proportion of people who think that the GI Bill and the money that veterans get is free cash. Who needs to be giving them that kind of money? They think this. Not everybody, but enough to bother me. We're better than this. We've been better than this. I grew up better than this. And I think you have too. My apologies if this was long, but I would regret bringing all these subjects up again. I'll see you guys next time, and thank you for listening. Bye.